Blue eyes. The unfair advantage of your rare blue eyes is a superior biological capacity for night vision and efficient navigation in low-light environments. Lacking almost any melanin in the stroma, which is the anterior layer of your iris, there is no dark pigment to absorb the ambient light entering your eyeball. Due to this anatomical feature, your light eyes function similarly to a high-aperture optical lens, allowing a massive amount of photons to penetrate directly to the photoreceptors of your retina. In dim conditions, prolonged winters, or overcast days, this physical design optimizes your light capture, granting you the ability to process visual shapes and details that dark eyes cannot register with the same clarity. This evolutionary advantage originated through a specific genetic mutation in the OCA2 gene approximately 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. Scientists from the University of Copenhagen identified that this event occurred in a single individual who lived in the Black Sea region, meaning that you share the exact same common ancestor with every other blue-eyed person on Earth. Before this DNA alteration, the entire human race possessed brown eyes. This trait was preserved and successfully propagated, meaning that if you have blue eyes, your ancestors most likely originated from Northern or Eastern European populations, where the lack of pigmentation in the iris facilitated biological adaptation to regions with low solar radiation. In social settings, your ocular configuration grants you an involuntary psychological advantage linked to empathy and nonverbal communication. Because of your light-colored background, the contraction and dilation movements of your pupil are visible from much greater distances. Since pupillary dilation is an autonomic nervous system response that betrays attraction, concentration, or surprise, your eyes eliminate the cognitive effort that others need to decipher your intentions, making it easier for you to build immediate trust bonds in face-to-face interactions. Hazel eyes. The unfair advantage of your rare hazel eyes is a dynamic physical camouflage combined with superior adaptation to fluctuating environmental light, making up roughly 18% of the United States population, but only 5% globally. Your iris functions as a biological chameleon. Unlike single-colored eyes, hazel eyes possess a moderate yet unevenly distributed amount of melanin concentrated primarily in the pupillary border, while the outer edges contain lighter shades. When your pupil dilates or constricts in response to shifting light or autonomic nervous system arousal, the localized pigment blocks compress or expand, scattering light differently and causing your eyes to visibly cycle between green, gold, and light brown. This multidimensional advantage stems from a highly mixed ancestral lineage, acting as a genetic bridge between light European eyes and dark African or Mediterranean eyes. If you have hazel eyes, your ancestry likely traces back to populations from Western and Southern Europe, particularly regions surrounding Spain, France, and Italy, where centuries of migration created a stabilization of the HERC2 and OCA2 genes. This genetic blending ensures that your eyes possess enough melanin to shield your photoreceptors from intense solar glare and ultraviolet radiation far better than blue eyes, yet they retain a translucent outer layer that maximizes light absorption during overcast days or northern winters. Your biology essentially inherited the optimal survival traits of two completely different geographic climates. In social settings, your shifting ocular configuration grants you a distinct psychological edge rooted in cognitive fascination and prolonged human attention. Because the human brain is hardwired to categorize visual stimuli into fixed boxes, the constantly changing color spectrum of your hazel eyes disrupts standard facial recognition processing, forcing interlocutors to look at you longer and more intently to decipher your exact eye color. This involuntary extension of eye contact is structurally proven to heighten interpersonal intimacy, making you appear more memorable, intriguing, and naturally charismatic during first impressions. Black eyes. The unfair advantage of your rare black eyes, which are biologically the absolute highest concentration of dark brown pigment, is an elite physical shield against radiation and a superior speed of visual processing. In the United States, dark eyes represent about 45% of the population, yet true jet black irises remain scarce. Your extreme levels of melanin act as a natural pair of internal sunglasses, absorbing more than 99% of incoming ultraviolet rays and intense solar glare. This high-density biological barrier minimizes light scattering inside your eyeball, giving you exceptional contrast sensitivity under harsh lighting. Because of this specialized optics system, you possess a significant tactical advantage in fast-paced outdoor sports like baseball, tennis, or tactical shooting, where tracking objects against a bright sky requires instant visual adaptation without sun-induced blindness. This protective physical armor traces its roots directly to the foundational lineage of the human race. If your eyes are deep black, your ancestors most likely originated from equatorial regions in Africa, Southern Asia, or indigenous America, where intense atmospheric UV radiation made low pigment eyes a severe biological liability. Over hundreds of thousands of years, natural selection favored high-density melanin production to safeguard the delicate tissues of your retina from macular degeneration and cellular degradation. Furthermore, a prominent study from Charles University in Prague confirmed that individuals with deeply pigmented eyes are universally perceived by others as inherently more dominant, confident, and trustworthy leaders, providing you with a natural, authoritative edge in first impressions. Green eyes. The unfair advantage of your extraordinarily rare green eyes is a masterful evolutionary balance between light sensitivity and structural protection, combined with the highest global scarcity score of any standard eye color. Making up 9% of the United States population, but less than 2% globally, your iris is an architectural optical illusion. Because the human body cannot produce a true green pigment, your eye color relies on a low to moderate amount of melanin paired with a rare yellow-toned lipid pigment called lipochrome. This rare optical configuration is a highly specialized heritage tied to Celt and Germanic lineages, with massive concentrations originating in isolated pockets like Ireland, Scotland, and Iceland. Centuries of geographical isolation allowed this specific genetic balance of the OCA2 and HERC2 genes to thrive. This genetic blueprint ensures your biology filters out harmful ultraviolet rays far more efficiently than blue eyes, while maintaining a translucent structure that maximizes the capture of ambient light in foggy, heavily forested, or overcast northern terrains. In interpersonal dynamics, this extreme environmental scarcity triggers an evolutionary halo effect. Because humans are naturally drawn to high-value, rare traits, your gaze automatically biases the subconscious of others to associate you with mystery, sophistication, and an unrivaled cross-cultural rating of physical attractiveness. Subscribe to discover your hidden biological advantages.